I thought we could check out a video called The Night Osama Bin Laden Was Killed, full feature HD. I don't know that it was necessary to read the entire title. This video was suggested to me because of my videos about 9/11, so I guess it's a natural transition. I'm an Irish girl living between Spain and Ireland, and I like to offer a European's perspective on the whole America shtick. But yeah, I'm interested to see what this video is about and how Americans actually reacted to it in a moment. Before getting to the video, I would be super grateful if you could leave like a comment, even like, "Dan, you're stupid," or like a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because the algorithm has changed around here, and in order for videos to get pushed out, we need more engagement. If you like me, stick around and subscribe. That seems like a big commitment though. It's up to you. The night Osama Bin Laden was killed. Here we go. Okay. Oh, is that a baseball?
We had a division rivalry between the Mets and the Phillies. The ballpark was full. It was a really lively atmosphere, but you know, at the time I just thought I was sitting down to do a regular baseball game.
Okay. You see the
We didn't know what was going on. We just knew something special happened. And I don't know how to describe that when you don't know what's going on, but you know it's special.
Okay.
The afternoon was spent on pins and needles.
Oh, all the politicians are there.
Another packed house here at Citizens Bank Park and an awfully nice night for a ball game here in Philadelphia. The New York Mets.
A ball game does look fun. I'd like to go to a ball game.
You know, it's always a rivalry when a New York team and a Philadelphia team get together.
I think for the most part we respected one another, but I think certainly we didn't like each other.
When I was wearing red and white pinstripes, I couldn't stand orange, black, and blue. I just couldn't.
The Mets-Phillies rivalry, it's based on proximity.
Friendly rivalry.
There's a little bit of a big brother, little brother issue going on, I think.
It's always extra special, obviously, that rivalry.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Where I grew up, there were like 2 rugby schools, and they were like literally within a couple of miles of each other, and they just hated each other, even though they were like pretty much growing up in the same neighborhood. I think it's the same everywhere. Those particular sports rivalries are always the most fun and like usually the best matches to go to. Games or matches. Are they games or matches?
There's always electric atmosphere.
Even in our production meeting prior to, I remember someone making the point that this is the only show in town. And by that, I mean really the only major sporting event going on across the country. And that's not often the case.
9:45 p.m. That's late. You've got to start games late.
On a swing and a foul tip held by Paulino. Lee strikes out. 1 down.
At the same moment, the White House announces a presidential
watching the
news
game,
conference.
we have monitors here, watching Twitter on the laptop, and the White House reporters that I follow. They started talking back and forth about the president has called a news conference.
Our news editor, Claire Smith, passed a note along at some point to me, POTUS news conference tonight.
Oh my gosh. As a person who has worked in TV production, I can imagine the scramble frantically if POTUS calls a news conference. You'd just be like, I have a bajillion things to do.
To me, honestly, you know, I'm locked in on what's going on in the field. I'm not even factoring in what this could mean.
And Young strikes him out as the Phillies leave the bases loaded here in the 7th inning.
10:48, bottom of the 8th inning. Mets are still on 1.
It was a 1-run ball game. The tying run was on base, and Ryan Howard's coming up. But all of a sudden, you become aware of something else.
I looked down at my phone and I got a text from a buddy who always watched games, and he said, they got Bin Laden.
Bobby nudged me with his elbow and showed me his phone. You know, this isn't in the play-by-play handbook. They don't tell you how to deal with this one.
They really don't.
There were rumors that Osama bin Laden had been, you know, the United States had got him, and that they'd killed him.
Tom Archer, our producer, right away said, we're trying to corroborate it. Don't say anything yet. We're preparing a statement. So you try to put it out of your mind for a second, and you keep calling the game. They've only got 2 hits in this game. They've got 3 hits in this game. Mayberry getting the wave. The throw from Gray, not in time,
and the Phillies have tied it.
Okay, so they're on 1-1 now.
When we understood what was happening and that this was less a rumor and more fact, we said we're going to bring the announcers on camera at the end of the 8th inning.
Ground ball to
Oh my God, as the announcer, that would be like a lot of pressure.
Some breaking news for those of you who have been with us on the ball game. ABC News is reporting that Osama Bin Laden has been killed, and a presidential news conference is upcoming momentarily.
I think thereafter, we had our eyes open for when that bit of news was going to find its way into the 40,000 plus people who were at Citizens Bank Park.
10:57. So late.
At the very beginning of the 9th inning, my now wife, fiance at the time, just happened to be on her phone, I guess. It wasn't the most entertaining game for her.
On CNN, an article popped up about, it's not confirmed yet, but it looks like Bin Laden has been killed. And then, I turned to my fiance and said, hey, look at this is something.
My friend next to me, she suddenly lets out a, oh my God, we killed Bin Laden. After that, it just, everything changed.
What a cool place to be hearing that news among other
Got a chant of USA as
citizens.
news goes through the crowd.
There were two events going on at once. One was a baseball game, and one is a hugely significant world event, which people, one by one,
Is there not an announcer in the whole ballpark, like to the audience, to the crowd?
Once the word was started to leak out, we were told to find people sharing cell phone information with people beside them, find people that were excited, jumping up and down. That night, it was pretty easy to find good shots.
That's when I decided to pull out my phone. It just kind of struck me as this is like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of moment.
How did the players find it? They're probably like, what the hell is going on? Maybe the last ones to know, right?
There's no place in the world right now where there are more Americans gathered than in that ballpark. And they were all experiencing this rush of emotion simultaneously and spontaneously. The players, of course, had no idea what was going on.
Very rarely do you hear USA chants break out, out of nowhere.
And I'm thinking, what national team's playing and who are they playing and who they beat?
Was there a soccer game going on? I thought maybe there was a hockey game going on. I was confused, and it kind of took me off of what I was doing.
Just missed outside of the knees. And a base runner for the Mets here in the 9th inning at a 1-1 tie. Wright is running and steals it. Let's go down to field level with Wendy Nix. Wendy?
Well, Dan, you're exactly right. As word begins to filter through the ballpark about Osama Bin Laden, the players, at least in the Phillies dugout, are clearly unaware. They don't have the same devices that we have.
Yeah.
I was directly adjacent to the Phillies dugout. They're looking at me, and they're looking at each other, and they're looking at their manager. And the obvious question, do you know what's going on?
And here comes the USA chant again.
The players are just like, what is going on?
We didn't know what was going on. We just knew something special happened. And you're in an out, but you're in an in. You're a part of it, but part of what?
Jason Bay is going to be the batter.
I got no idea what's going on, and I'm Canadian, and I'm thinking, I've been called a lot of things, especially in Philly, but the USA thing, they're trying to get under my skin.
He thought they were jeering him for being
2 on, 2 out. Bay
Canadian?
the batter, tied at 1 in the 9th inning. In the air to center field. Inning over.
Everybody's coming into the dugout, and we're all kind of looking at each other, and obviously the chants are still going, and we're sitting there going, okay, what's happened here? And the trainer kind of breaks the news to all of us.
That's kind of how it spreads, is by that word of mouth. Obviously, no question, the baseball game becomes secondary to, the news and the president, addressing the country, a few minutes after that.
The White House has just announced that the president will address the nation about 1 minute from now.
Iconic. 11:35.
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children. What we remembered right away was the chants that we started hearing outside the White House. And, my working
God, he looks very young there, doesn't he?
If people had gathered that quickly outside of the White House, chanting USA, USA, then across the country.
So, yeah, I would check in here, just like there's a lot of talk, obviously, of course, about the USA, but this was global news. Like the rest of the world was pretty pleased with this happening too.
The same thing was taking place.
And that's a strike away from victory.
Next to Phillies.
Got him. The breaking ball to get him Mayberry, and finally the New York Mets hang on to beat the Phillies 2-1 tonight.
Here we are, a team from New York, a team from Philadelphia, rivals, playing one another, trying to knock each other's teeth out, but the game isn't that significant anymore.
It's weird, just being able to high-five and hug Phillies fans and have that common ground. Fans you're supposed to be enemies with. All of a sudden, it became a moment of celebration.
Wow, oh, that's nice.
For one night, it wasn't Philadelphia, New York. It was the United States of America coming together.
And the world.
That's something special.
Jeez, don't forget about the rest of the world. No, I get it. I get why it's like primarily a United States of America thing. To the rest of the world, it was kind of a, the world is free from this evil tyrant thing. I mean, that sounds awful saying we were all happy about somebody's death, but let's be real here. Like him and Hitler and Stalin, Dr. Mengele too. Oh, if you want to know more about Dr. Mengele, go check out my second channel. It's much darker, does a lot darker content. There's a cool video on Mengele over there. Today's video has been brought to you by these amazing people. Thank you to each and every one of you. You make it possible for me to live my little dream and make videos for you guys on the internet that I enjoy, that I'm emotionally provoked by, that I find exciting and terrifying and all sorts of things, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you to all of these people. That's it for today. See you on the other side. Bye. Guess who's back? Back again. Diane's back. Tell a friend. I never left, I never left, I never left, I never left. Am I boring you? You're making an unholy amount of noise. What are you doing? You having a dance party back there?